Hi, guys. Wonderful to see you.
Good to see you.
Charlotte, I want to start with you. Are you a fan of Tolkien's writing, or is it the Lord of the Rings movies? What is it that made you jump at directing this series or say yes to it?
I loved the books. I read them very early on. And then I was also loved Peter Jackson's films. So I was a big fan. And then when there was a chance to do this, I jumped on it.
I know you get asked this a lot, Cynthia, but playing someone who's blind or lost a vision, are there some methods and tricks that you use as an actor to play a blind person? You know, Míriel.
I didn't necessarily think about any tricks per se. It was more about the state of mind, and I felt in some ways that was more important because I think the blindness in our world is really more allegorical. I mean, she does have a blindness, but I think it's more about, you know, how internal it becomes for her and how there's really sort of an inner battle in her mind and how she has to sort of make these decisions in a completely different state from when we first meet her in season 1. So the main challenge for me was just not being able to rely on my sight the way I normally would to be able to connect with fellow actors looking into their eyes. So really it allowed me to kind of think about my other senses and listening more than anything else, because I think that was the heightened sense where it's like I need to sort of feel what's shifting, what's changing around me, how are people speaking to me, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think as an actor, you hope for challenges that kind of shift your perception of how you might approach something. You know, I think it's always good to feel like you're still learning and still, you know, not necessarily relying on what you always do when playing a character. So it was great for me.
Trystan, coming back to a Numenor that's so troubled, there's no king, Míriel is blind. Yes. Would you say that this is Pharazon's chance to be a shoulder and a source of strength to Míriel?
Yeah, it is a chance. It's a chance for him to do many things, to be honest with you. But I think as well, his allegiance, as is Míriel's allegiance, is to his people. Their life is, when you compare it to elves, it's one of struggle, where nature, unlike the elves, the half-wits can adapt to nature. The elves can live side by side with nature. But the world of men, it's full of hardship, of having to overcome nature. You have to sail the seas. You can't have a relationship with the water the same as the elves do. You can't have a relationship with trees the same as the elves do, or anything. You've got your time frame and you just have to plow on through. And there are many, I think, hard questions that need to be answered, many of which are existential. And I guess it's about who the right person is for that, to lead those people, I think, to whether it's their promised land or a frame of mind, and to celebrate who they are, whether that's Míriel or anybody else. You know, the allegiance is to the people of Numenor.
Charlotte, outdoor locations. Did you film in the Canary Islands or Scotland,
yes.
or where was that?
Canary Islands.
Talk about
and
the locations.
And everything else was in the UK.
They must have been stunning in the Canary Islands, the locales.
Yes.
Would you talk to us a little bit about filming in the outdoor?
I mean, there was like, we filmed a lot in the outdoor in the UK too, but except it was woods and colder and more rainy. And Canary Islands was a really nice contrast to all that, to all the English fog and gloom there. And I mean, there's some majestic landscapes. We were shot on the island of Tenerife in a national park by a volcano, and it was just incredible.
Beautiful. Cynthia, Míriel loses her father. She returns to Numenor as a potential leader, and that's got to be another important development that you had to accept as a challenge as an actor. Must have been interesting and fun for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, you know, we start off at the beginning of season 2 because at the end of season 1, they return to Numenorean shores to learn that the king has passed. At the beginning of season 2, we just get right into we just pick up where they left off. So there's a funeral and you kind of understand the national mood, so to speak. How are people feeling? And what do they think about Míriel leading? I mean, she understands and senses that she took people into a battle. Many lives were lost. They're angry with her. They're not certain that she should lead them. And so really what Míriel is going to be navigating through the course of season 2 is she the leader? Is she meant to be the leader? Will she lead? And so the audience is going to find out if she will or not.
My last question is to you, Trystan.
Yes.
What did you do that was different in the audition that made you get Pharazon, you think?
In the audition, well, in the recall, I looked like this. I had a grey beard and grey hair, and I don't know, I couldn't even tell you why. I don't think it was self-sabotage, but I shaved my beard off and I dyed my hair black. And I couldn't tell you to this day why I did it. maybe I'd like to challenge myself. I have no idea, but that's something that I did different. So I panicked about that, going, why the hell did I just do that? And, but yes.
Well, remember, we had a chemistry Zoom read.
Yes.
Our final audition was over Zoom, and we had to read a scene with each other. Yeah.
And you would not see. I mean, they had the two images.
Yeah. It was strange, but it was those times where we had the virtual audition.
Well, they gave us our numbers before.
Yeah.
We were on the Zoom call, so we were like, "Hi, I could potentially be your cousin, couldn't I?" So yeah, we had a lovely chat. I remember.
We did.
Good,
And
yes.
it's like that thing where you're kind of like on the journey together. It's like, I hope we both get it. And we did. Here we are.
Lovely. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
94.3 Radio 1.